Well, good morning. Welcome to the post-Labor Day edition of Coffee with Carrie, Adam, Storm, and Claire and Emma today. Yes, we got a little special theme for our show, and it's one of the three great questions that any investor is going to ask when they look at an entrepreneurial venture. They're going to say, why this? Why us? Meaning them. And why now? So today we're going to focus on the now. Why is now the right time to invest in an ISI elite training? Emma, why now?
I don't know.
Claire.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to go great. Adam, Storm, do you guys have any idea as to why now might be a good idea to invest in an ISI elite training franchise?
Yes. I'm going to lean on Storm, actually. I'm going to bring him in quite a bit today.
I like that.
On this thing.
Okay.
So I'll speak just from a real estate and what we're seeing perspective, and then I'll let you guys speak to the opportunity and territories and stuff like that from an emerging brand standpoint. But right now, I mean, I think there's two types of people, right? There's people that are going to be either paralyzed by fear, or there's going to be people that are understanding and seeing the opportunity. Some, those types of visionary people, which often make some of the best entrepreneurs out there. And it's not to say don't be cautious. I mean, you should be cautious. You should be looking towards, hey, what is the future going to hold? What are going to be the trends of the industry? Because things are going to change, right? I mean, it's not like things are just going to go back to normal. There's going to be some new things that we're implementing and a part of, the consumer behavior moving forward. So I think that is something to keep in mind. But at the same time, the really smart investors are looking at, hey, like, this was a true test. What is happening now? Right. And so we're not even out of this thing, and what is happening now? And so, if you've been following our story at all, we're coming off a record month of new members. And so, that's amazing for ISI, but at the same time, it should tell a bigger story of the consumer demand, right? Because I'm sure other brands are potentially seeing the same. And so, it's more so what is happening to the industry. And then the real estate game is a different story. So we go back about 6 to 8 months, and it is a landlord's market, highest rent rates we've ever seen. Brick and mortar was extremely, I would say, strong for the real estate investors. But that flipped overnight. And so, you guys are hearing about it now. But I think more than ever, like, we're seeing and being offered to spaces that are half the rent of what they were 8 months ago. We're seeing franchisees get a year of free rent. We're seeing TI dollars in the $50 range. And so it really just depends on where the investors or the landlord's cash stance is. But every single landlord that I've ran into is willing to bend and break to make sure that they're setting themselves up for the future. And ultimately that means giving, some of the best deals we've seen in years. And so those people that are willing to are seeing the opportunity in that are going to take advantage of that and set themselves up to be extremely successful here over the next 10 years. So that's really what we're seeing here on the real estate side. And I'll kick it over to Storm and Carrie for more of the territory side. I know it's a ton of leads coming through right now. And
I was here listening to you talk about that, and I talked with you yesterday, or we spoke yesterday, and mentioning the way that we ran from a franchise development in August, which is a very, very slow month for almost every single business, and particularly the fitness space. And given the space we're in with fear and anxiety over the virus and the pandemic and the way that that's playing out, we're getting a ton of traction right now. The pipeline that we're working with went from very thin to very, very robust in a matter of a week. A lot of complex people coming through saying, we understand now is a very good time to get in. We can see the clarity, right? We can see the forest for the trees, and we look at the opportunity. And coming out of this, there's a lot of competitors going out, a lot of vacant real estate space available, and we feel very confident in the mission of this brand.
Yeah, I don't even think from the real estate side we're seeing the best of it yet. The worst past whatever side you're on, but coming into Q4 and into Q1 of 2021 is going to be, where we're going to see, because I mean, I know in a lot of states, evictions can't even happen yet. So,
and
moratorium.
I'm right outside of New York City, so the population density is a little bit higher. Like, I don't think we're really seeing the long-term effects of what this is going to have on us. I think we have a couple of years in a very, very dense city like this. You may, shorten your curve or flatten your curve, if you will, in the southern states. I love that guy behind you with his legs up on the table. Maybe knock on the glass, tell him.
I love it.
Other side. There you go.
That's there you go.
That's how I work.
So I would like to touch on two things, right? We're talking about why now, and really there's two things I'd like to bring up. The first is that I think what COVID has created for a lot of people out there is a focus on health and a focus on fitness, right? And you can't ignore the data anymore, right? You take a look at who this disease is affecting and who it's affecting most seriously. It's people who have pre-existing health conditions and people who tend to be a little bit older, right? And some pre-existing health conditions you have no control over whatsoever. But if you are living a healthier lifestyle, if you are physically fit, you have a better quality of life. And by being healthy, by being physically fit, you're giving yourself a better chance to fight off diseases like COVID, diseases like the flu. I think at this point, it's something that people can no longer ignore, right? COVID is something that it's not really affecting a large portion of the population because they're younger and they're a little bit more capable of fighting off disease. And I think there's going to be a major focus on that coming out of this. You're already seeing it. I'm seeing it amongst my own friend groups. People who had, no reason in particular to start focusing on fitness and losing weight. They're going out and they're finding gym memberships. They're finding groups who are going on walks. And I think that's something that we've seen. I've never seen so many people take up walking, right? Just getting outside and moving. So I think you're seeing that shift, occur in real time. And the other thing that I think people miss, and this is kind of my second point, is people miss the feeling of community, right? People are stuck indoors all day long because businesses are closed down. You turn on the TV and everything you see on TV is divisive, right? I don't care, what your opinions are about this or that. Everything seems to be divisive right now. People miss the feeling of community. And I know I feel it whenever I get to see my family, like my heart feels full when I get to go see my friends. Like I feel better about my day. I feel better about the whole situation. I think people miss that feeling of community. So being able to get back indoors with a group of people that you can just get to work with, people miss that. I think those are two reasons that probably aren't touched on enough as to why people have started looking into brands like ISI. And we've touched on real estate. We've touched on the explosive growth with new members, and we've done that on a couple of these calls in the morning. I think the real estate situation with some of these big box gyms beginning to close and that shift in focus from a big box gym to boutique, I think COVID is only going to exacerbate that. I think those are all good reasons for people to take a look at the brand right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Storm, you want to know why my heart feels full?
Why is that?
Because I get to work with you and Adam every day.
There we go. These calls, this is our little community right here.
Community. Yeah. Good.
It was interesting that you said that because I was reading an article that they interviewed Elon Musk, and whether you like Elon Musk or not, you can't argue with his success. And what he said was there's really two areas where, if he was talking to the younger generation, to the 16 to 19-year-olds, and he said there's two areas that I would get into: the human connectivity, so the service, human to human service-based industry, or AI. He said they're on completely two different realms of the spectrum. AI is going to continue to come in, to effect, and we're going to continue to utilize it, and it'll grow and do some probably amazing things. But he said at the same time, you're never going to take away the component of community. And I mean, it's who we were made to be, and so I think yeah, just to hit on that even more, it's, you know, for ISI, that's you know, that's who we are, and really it's in our name, it's in our blood, and of what we do. So,
well, you said something the other day, and I don't know if it came from a religious background or not, but it's, you know, we're meant here to go through this life together. Is that the quote, or am I butchering it?
yeah, I mean, it's meant to do life together.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that, you know, that was something I never heard before, and that was something I like to hear, because it is the truth. And, you know, as people, we now put on masks. We look the other direction when we're passing people on the street. It's harder. You know, you're not smiling the way you once were. And I think, you know, to Storm's point, people out there are looking for that community. They want to be engaged with it. And I had this conversation with some people the other day. This is what COVID has done for us. It's brought us together. It's allowed us to spend time with family, allowed us to spend time with friends, make some new friends, and really enhance those bonds, because we're around each other. We're all going through it together.
Yeah. Amen. And I mean, from the ISI side, why ISI and why now? I mean, timing's everything, and we've got, you know, the territories are open. So wherever you're watching this at, I mean, there's room for territories where in a year from now, you know, I'm guessing that's probably not going to be the case. And, you know, we've got a foundational system in place, a support team that's here for you to walk you through. We've got an entire real estate and construction wing. We've got a sales development team, which Carrie and Storm is on and leads, that is going to take you through the process to make sure you're a good fit, because it's just as important for us that you're a good fit, that we're a good fit for you. And so, again, great brand, great values, great timing. Why not jump in, do this thing?
And it's very scalable, you know, low cost of entry. And with the deals that we're seeing in real estate right now, it's becoming even more scalable, right? We don't have a massive equipment package that you have to drop into, you know, each location. So as the real estate deals get better and better, I think we're going to see some of our franchisees begin buying up some of those adjacent territories, right? If they're you know, first units are cash flowing. And then obviously we've got a number of people that we're working with right now that are in the pipeline that are looking at that multi-unit opportunity. So very scalable, especially from a boutique fitness concept. And I think I can speak to this because I used to fund an awful lot of them. It's a pretty low barrier to entry. You know, the costs that we're showing are actual costs. Very scalable model.
Love it.
Very good. All right, let's wrap this up for today. We'll be back tomorrow bright and early. Before we do, Storm Miller, weather in Philadelphia.
Well, I can tell you this weekend was absolutely beautiful. We haven't had weather like that in a really long time.
Do you feel like this past weekend was everything that you projected last Friday?
It was, man. It really was. I had the air conditioning off. I had the windows open, fans blowing all weekend long. Got some fresh air in the house. It was really nice. Got the dog down to the river. It was great. It was absolutely great. But today is going to be a little bit warmer than it was this weekend. High here in Philadelphia is 85, and it's going to be a little bit more humid. So real feel temps are going to reach the 90s. Real feel is going to be up to 92 today. But I think they're calling for rain either later on this afternoon or overnight. So we'll have temperatures falling off the rest of the week. And if you look out into next weekend, which will be here faster than we think, it's a short work week.
That's true.
Short work week. We've got highs back in the 70s this coming weekend. So the fall weather really does look like it's here to stay. This is beautiful weather. It's my favorite time of year because a lot of people have quit on summer, but we still have like those nice like 80-degree days. Perfect.
Yeah, see, Adam knows because he came from Myrtle Beach. This is when the tourists leave and the locals get to go experience what's going on.
100%.
That's it, man. The best.
This is normally the time of year I'd go down and make sure I was spending as much time with my buddies in North Wildwood as possible, because the whole town would empty out and everybody that had a house down there that stayed down there all summer, this is when they got their time down the beach in.
North Wildwood's in the Jersey Shore, Adam.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's it for today. I'm going to go take the rest of the day off. We got some video to watch.
See y'all tomorrow.